Welcome back to BK Nothing But Nets podcast. We are here with Mock Draft 4.0. We're already on our fourth mock draft. I'm joined as always with Nets press Dylan. Last time we did this, the Nets were in much better shape, Dylan. They're in the sixth spot now, sixth best odds. Give me your thoughts on the Nets right now before we get started.
Well, realistically, unfortunately, Tankathon hasn't updated. We are currently fifth overall.
Okay.
It is Brooklyn, Charlotte, OKC, and Dallas at the moment. So Charlotte plays the Warriors tonight. It would be nice if they can get a win. The Clippers won last night against the Kings, so that was nice of them to do. And then I don't know if Dallas is playing or not today, but a couple of games that should be watch worthy. New Orleans should potentially get a win tonight with Josh Giddey out against the Bulls, so that should bump them above Sacramento up into the fourth. And Indiana played. I forgot who they play actually. Who does Indiana play today?
I'll look it up right now. I'll look it up right now.
I'm looking at it here too. Yeah, Indiana plays Orlando.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some interesting games. Washington plays Milwaukee, depending on if Giannis decides to, do what he usually does against Washington, then that's probably unlikely. But point being, you've got a couple of tanking teams on today. Nets played tomorrow against a really good Rockets team. It is also a back-to-back for the Nets, I believe, starting tomorrow. If I'm the Nets, I'm playing Michael everybody tomorrow, and I'm sitting a bunch of day after because we're playing Washington.
Well, let me ask you about that. The Nets have obviously played well the last month of the season. What direction? Because this is like last year. Like I feel like you have to pick a direction here. And I'm not saying shoot at the wrong basket, try to lose games. What direction are they going to choose? Are they going to try to win games, or are they going to try to develop all the rookies and play all the rookies? Like which avenue?
Like I said last time, I think they need to take the route of the Utah Jazz. On certain back-to-backs, if you're playing a bottom team the first or the second game, you need to put your best for it. You need to make it some of those games against the bottom. You've already beaten Walker.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up. You're like really choppy right now. Like you're in and out.
There, you want me to back in and out?
Yeah, can you get in and out? Like you're super choppy. All right. While we're waiting for Dylan, the Nets have to choose a direction. This can't get into the territory where it was last year. They're gonna have. It's either we're all in and we're trying to make the play-in, and if that's the avenue they choose,
now
then
it's
that's
really
the avenue.
bad.
Hang on. You gotta choose one avenue or the other. We can't do this half in, half out, lukewarm stuff. We got to decide whether or not we're a playing team, and if we decide we want to be a playing team, go all in on that. I don't mean make trades. I mean, play Michael Porter Jr., play Terrence Mann, try to make the play-in, or say this is a developmental season. Wins and losses are kind of secondary, and I'm not that concerned about wins and losses. I'm more concerned about developing my rookies. But you got to choose one or the other. You back, Dylan? Dylan, we can't hear you.
Gary, can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, for some reason, I can't get an actual word of what you're saying right now. It sounds like if you were to put yourself in slow motion. Like, it's like, it's really weird. I don't know what's going on.
Hang on.
Do you want to try backing out and in, or is mine okay? Give me a thumbs up if it's all right.
You're good.
All right, I'm good. All right, so I'm good. Yeah, if you want to back in and out, feel free. I don't know what's going on right now. Let's see. Chat, if anybody can hear me, just let me know. I want to make sure everything's all right.
Is that better?
Oh, much better.
All right.
Dude, it was literally like listening, like, when somebody's getting shot from behind by like 6 people in a war movie and they decide to play a slow motion with him like yelling out like whatever. That's what it sounded like.
All right. I think we're good now.
Yeah. No, we're good. All right, if you want to reshare the screen because that popped off. We'll get right into it, I guess. But I know that you were talking about the Nets' upcoming ideas of how to kind of maneuver around this. I mean, it's still pretty clear They want a good pick. It's just the team is too good for it, like always.
But
Which is
how?
interesting
How are they
because at
too
the
good? The
beginning of the
roster is
year,
still disgusting. Michael Porter Jr. is still way better than we thought, right? The roster is still.
nope. Don't put me in that situation.
Uh,
I said that he was going to be this. I said he was going to be this. That's my fucking guy. Don't play with me.
Okay, all right, not you. I mean, y'all. I mean, y'all in the Nets community. I don't mean you, y'all out there in Nets world.
Yeah.
That being said, the roster is still disgusting and deplorable. It still makes your eyes bleed. Like, it's still the worst roster in basketball. So, why are they better than we thought? Like, why?
Jordy Fernandez and Michael Porter Jr. are the duo that we never knew we needed.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Let's do it. One lottery
right.
simulation. Tap the button.
Lottery. You ready?
Let's get into it. And the Nets are picking 8th overall. Portland moves up to 1. San Antonio, of course, in the top 3. God, I fucking hate that organization. All right. Everybody knows the rules. One lottery simulation is how it gets done. So
what are you, Dave
click on,
Portnoy? Everybody knows the rules.
Exactly. So yeah, tap
right.
using mock draft.
Use it mock draft. Yes, sir.
God, I hate San Antonio so much. Scroll down a bit, click on your big board.
Your big boy.
And then start draft. Number 1 overall. This is a really tough spot actually for Portland, just because Drew Holiday's under contract. You don't know if they're going to want to keep him or not. Dame comes back. Like, they have guard depth. I think Jeremy Grant is somebody that they're going to want to move away from at some point here. To me, I don't think it's debatable at this point in time. I think AJ DeBonsta is the best player in the class. I officially do have him over Darren Peterson, so I'm going to go with AJ DeBonsta here at number 1.
Is that universal? Is that no matter who it is, it's going to be DeBonsta at this point? Is he the number 1?
Unless if it's a team that consists of, I mean, like if Charlotte got the number 1 pick, I don't think they would take DeBonsta just because they've got Kneppel, they've got Brandon Miller, they've got Fajon Saloon. Like, they don't really need a wing. OKC, if they got number 1, I don't think they really need a guard. But it really just depends. I mean, it really depends on who somebody feels is the best player in the class.
Could you imagine if OKC gets the number 1 pick in the draft? Could you imagine?
I don't want to imagine, because I already know that there's going to be a real reality of this happening, no matter what spot they're in.
All right.
Number 2 overall, I'm going to have them go Darren Peterson here. Even though the fit is a little weird, I do think that playing him off the ball with Halliburton when he comes back would be a really good fit. I think that you kind of drop
a chance to take him, you have to take him, right? Like, you can't say, yeah.
100%. The rich just keep getting richer here. San Antonio takes Cam Boozer, and it's honestly a great fit.
It is.
With Sochan potentially on his way out, they needed power forward, and what better way to put an undersized, should be center next to a 7'6" alien. I think that actually works perfectly for him. At number 4, what do we got here? Washington?
Yeah. This makes
Caleb Wilson.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a really good
sense,
fit
right?
next to Alex
is.
Sarr. That would be a really fun, exciting duo over there. Both 6'10", 6'11". That'll be a really interesting pairing. I'm not sure if you guys saw last night as well. I'm pretty sure Wilson put up 22. What was it? 22 or 24 points? Let me check real quick for you guys, because it was ridiculous. This kid is genuinely, like, if this was any other draft class, he's top 3 with ease. 22 points on 9 of 15 shooting, 16 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 blocks. This kid is a monster. At number 5, we've got, who's up here? Atlanta.
Yeah.
God, I don't like this pick for them at all. But
they're going to take Kingston Flemings because Trae Young's not going to be a Hawk, right?
Very well could be. I mean, I think Quaintance is the number 5 overall prospect in the class, but the problem is they've got Onyeka Okongwu. I think they're going after Anthony Davis as of right now.
Yeah.
Like, to me, yeah, you kind of got to go point guard. The thing is, though, you could debate whether or not Atlanta at 5 would take LeBaron Filan. As a sophomore, he's a bit more experienced. And if you look at his stats, click on the little eye in that circle right there for Filan.
On Filan? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the stats, he's a monster. He is a monster.
that field goal percentage just jumps off the chart to me. Like a lot of,
Yeah.
it's hard to average 22 in college. To do it on that efficient of shooting is really eye catching.
Especially at 6'4", potentially even 6'3", depending on what he actually measures at the combine. But yeah, I mean, let's switch it up here. I don't think it's going to happen, but I honestly just like the fit of it better. Let's go LeBaron Filan at 5.
Break them down a little bit. What kind of point guard is Kingston Flemings? What kind of point guard is LeBaron Filan? Why would Atlanta choose Filan over Flemings?
I think if they do go after Anthony Davis, they're in win now mode, especially with the depth that they have. And I think Filan's more NBA ready in terms of if he could lead a team in the playoffs compared to Flemings at 18 years old. So it just really kind of depends on the fit of which they're looking for. I also don't think the Hawks keep that pick. Realistically, if they're smart, they don't go after Anthony Davis, they go after Giannis. So to me, that pick is up in the air. At number 6 here, what is it, Sacramento?
Yeah.
See, like this is another tough pick because again, you're more than likely going to move off of Sabonis. They don't really have a point guard of the future, but in a trade for Sabonis, they could be potentially getting a point guard like Emmanuel Quickley, Darius Garland, Trae Young. Who knows what they're going to get as of right now. So for me, let's go with the replacement.
Like, what do you just
Yeah,
best player
they're
available?
really bad.
Yeah,
I would say go Jaden Clanins. I think they could use the upside at the center position. They really don't have anybody over there that jumps off the charts. Don't let the stats fool you. He played 18 minutes in his first game back. He put up 7 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 blocks. So in terms of his per 36, you're looking at 14, 10, and 4. That's really good numbers for a 19-year-old. I'm sorry, I think he's 18 right now because he was 17 when he first got into college. He was the youngest player in basketball last year at Arizona State. So a lot of upside. If you watch the game that he played in recently, the mid-range shot, the movement, it looks a lot like Bam Adebayo. So it's going to be impressive to see what he can do in the league. At number 7 here is OKC, I believe.
yeah.
No trades as of yet, but this here is the Koa Pete pick. I think that it just makes the most sense. Realistically, if you're looking at it from the sense of what they could use, I think having a physical dominant 4 with some playmaking IQ, he plays a lot like Aaron Gordon. So to me, this would be their Aaron Gordon.
Let's spend a minute on them for just a second. I don't know what OKC does, but are they going to use these picks realistically? I mean, what do they do? They pick 7, 11, 17, 25, and 38.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, what do they do with they can't use all those picks, right? What do they do with them? So with the Nets, like if they said, I'll give you 11 for the Knicks pick in 2030.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something? I mean, what are they going to? They can't draft these guys. They can't use all these roster space, all this cap space on these rookies. I don't think
they'll do it for that pick. I think they'll do it for like 17, and then for 26 or 27 that they have right now. I think they'll do it for those picks.
Okay,
either that, or I could see them packaging 11 and 17 to move up and grab like say they moved up with Sacramento to go get Jaden Clanins and Koa Pete. That would make a lot of sense for them as well.
Oh, but then what do you play the rookies? You try to imagine you're an OKC fan. It's a wet dream every day. Like it's just a wet dream every day if you're an OKC fan. I know only really 10 people live in Oklahoma City and it sucks, but at least your basketball team is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's impressive what they're doing. At number 8 though for Brooklyn, this is a really tough decision for me because I absolutely love Darius Acuff. I just think in terms of the play style of Jordi Fernandez and what he wants, it would be Kingston Flemings. People aren't going to like the pick because we already have a bunch of guards, but realistically, Yegor has shown that he can be a point forward. You don't necessarily need to play him at the 1. So I
would not say, as of right now, you would not say Yegor is a point guard. You'd say he's a wing.
He's a borderline shooting guard.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, right, yeah. I mean,
so realistically, I think that you can grab a guy like Flemings who has two-way ability. He's a very good defender. He's incredibly efficient. He has the playmaking IQ. He's got the intensity. He reminds me of a better defensive version of like a better defensive, lesser offensive version of Jalen Brunson, if that makes sense. Just in terms of his like IQ and his play style. That's what he kind of reminds me of. But again, I don't really have a good comparison for him as of right now, just because he's a very non-traditional modern point guard. 6'4", so he's not crazy in size, but he's got defensive abilities as well. So I really don't know what the comp is that I would give for him yet, but I think Flemings would be the pick here at 8.
One other thing. Nate Ahmed is a guy that's fallen off the charts. Nate Ahmed was a guy that was supposed to be top 5. He's there. He's that long body that Mark likes. Would that be something they consider? Or is he fallen off so much that he's not a top 10 guy anymore?
I wouldn't take him at 8. I'm at the point now where I would almost not take him in the lottery. Like he's this year's version of Nolan Traore, if that makes sense. Right? Traore was projected top 5 at the beginning of last year, and he fell to 19. So I could very well see the same happening for him. Last night he played, he played South Carolina State, a garbage team, and he finished with 16.7 rebounds on 60% shooting. But he also had 3 turnovers and no assists. So when you look at it from the perspective of like his all-around skill set, it's kind of like the question marks that you saw with Ace Bailey last year with Nolan Traore's trajectory in terms of draft stock. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes.
Let me ask you here. So we got our 2 tank picks, or our rebuilding picks, whatever you guys want. Yegor and Kingston Flemings. Are you happy with that? Are we in the right direction with rebuilding our franchise with those 2 guys?
I would say yes and no. No, because you didn't get the guy, which means that you're now in a position where you have to make a trade for the guy, which means that you're going to have to give up a lot of assets.
Or you can try to sign him, right? I mean, we got the cap space. Yeah.
Problem is this upcoming offseason isn't for that, right? There's not much guys out there that you can spend money on. So that's going to be another year-long wait for that, which means if they begin to overachieve next season like they are right now, then do you make the trade mid-season, or do you wait until the offseason to try and sign a bunch of people in the offseason for 2027? So that's kind of where the stuck in the mud route is. It's like we're too good to be a bottom tier team, but we are not good enough to be a play-in team if we don't make the necessary roster adjustments next season to get into that spot.
Let me pause you right there. If we get a vet on a 1-year deal next year, I'd have to look at the free agency pool, but just a vet, a 1-year stopgap kind of contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Michael Porter Jr., with the development of the rookies, we are a playing team. And I'm not saying because Jordy, I feel if Jordy really wanted to, and the mission was to get this team the 10 seed, I think they could do it this year. So
I think he would be fighting for a play-in spot. The difference is will Milwaukee trade Giannis? If so, yes, the Nets could overtake them. Is Chicago going to sell? They're rumored to sell every year, and they don't. If so, if they do, yes, I could see the Nets being better than them. Charlotte, I don't see us being better than Charlotte next season. Washington, I do see us being better than them next season. Indiana, I don't see us being better than them next season with Halliburton back, and if they land the top 4 pick. Toronto's really good right now. Miami's in the position to get a star. Cleveland, they're just having a really horrible start to the season. But
what the hell is going on? What is going on?
Yeah, realistically, they're too good of a team to be better than. So at best, if the roster stays the same and the Nets kind of just play the cheap route and don't really make many improvements, the best I could see us really is the 10th seed, at worst the 12th seed. So it is going to be a fight for the play-in next year. I don't think it's a guarantee.
Yeah. No, I just the Nets approach, their consistency, their level of play. What do you need to be the 10 seed? 34, 35 wins? I think the Nets get that. Yeah, I think the Nets we can go through which teams have better rosters, but they all have better rosters than the Nets this year, and the Nets beat all the bad teams. You know what I'm saying? If you just beat all of the bad teams and then win a couple of games here and there, maybe Michael Porter Jr. is 7 for 7 from 3-point line, you win a game here or something, or someone rests their starters another day, and you beat them. Like if you just beat the teams that you're better than, and then steal a couple other games, you'll get to 34, 35 wins. You'll get to that 10 spot. I'm not saying that should be the goal. It shouldn't be the goal, but I feel like next year the Nets will be a play-in team. And I feel like this year, if they really wanted to go for it, and I don't even mean make trades, like I'd be buyers. I don't even mean that. I'm saying if you just played Michael Porter Jr. 35 minutes a game, Cam Thomas 35 minutes or 30 minutes a game off the bench, and you really went in, you could pass some of these teams that aren't giving max effort, like Milwaukee and Chicago. Like you could pass these teams just with Jordy Fernandez and Michael Porter Jr. and the system that they're playing right now. Because we talked about this. When was the last time the Nets lost to a bad team?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. They don't lose to
Utah's
bad
not
teams.
a bad team.
they're
Utah's not a
not.
bad team.
So
Keontae
the game
George
we went
is
to,
an
the opening
all-star.
day, Charlotte's the last time they lost to a bad team.
I wouldn't even say
Right?
Charlotte's a bad team. I really wouldn't. Like, you've got such an intriguing young core over in Charlotte. Kneppel being second in Rookie of the Year. LaMelo, borderline all-star. Brandon Miller, incredible
Yeah.
third option. Like, Miles Bridges, Ryan Kalkbrenner, and Sion James were great picks for them. They still have Tajon Saloon, who's young and developing. Like, they have a team. Trey Mann. Like, they have a good team. So I wouldn't really necessarily say that we've lost to a really bad team yet this year. I mean, I'm trying to think. What have our games been like this year? Well, while you're doing that, we're at pick 9 with Charlotte. I think this is where you see potentially Darius Acuff go. I think Darius Acuff, as of right now, is better than Mikal Brown Jr. Brown Jr. is also dealing with injuries, so he hasn't played in a couple of games, but realistically, I think that Darius Acuff is the better point guard as of right now.
This is a good draft. Like this isn't just top 3 guys. This is a pretty deep draft at the
This
top.
is stacked. I mean,
Yeah, it really is.
I think
I'm
that you're
looking at
getting. I think that you're getting.
I'm looking at
least a third option
Yasafu.
caliber.
He's still on the
Yeah, I think you're getting at least a first through third option player up until scroll down a little bit on the board. Like I can see Mikal Brown Jr. being a 1 through 3 option, Steinbeck, Nate Ament, Braylon Mullins, Nicholas Avdalas. Like there's guys on here who genuinely could be third options all the way until pick number 20, 22. Like it's a really deep draft, especially if all of them stay. Like Malik Thomas just had a 28-point game. Keaton Wagler is one of the most underrated freshmen and under talked about freshmen of the year. Christian Anderson is extremely good. Dame Sarr has a ton of upside because of his two-way ability. Henry Vassir, listen, Hannes Yang last year was like the what the fuck pick of the draft. I could see Henry Vassir being a top 16 pick with the way that he's playing. There are just a ton of guys on this board who will make an impact immediately wherever they go.
Pettiford. It's a good draft. I mean, for sure. This is a loaded draft.
Yeah. Now, Dallas to me is not the smartest organization. I think that with the route that they're going, Anthony Davis is going to be gone. Klay Thompson's going to be gone. You're going to have to figure out what you're doing with PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford down the line. Realistically, if it was my choice for Dallas, I would take Tunde Esafu. But I think if Mikal Brown Jr. is on the board with the upside that he brings at the point guard position, especially with Kyrie getting up there in age, I think that he's the no doubt pick there at number 10. This is a guy who could very well go still in the top 6. But if he's there at 10, I think Dallas takes him.
Then OKC, this is going to be a trend. OKC is back up. They got Koa Pete, remember, at 7. They're back at 11. They also picked 17 and 25.
We've got to trade.
All right, we got to trade. Trade pick.
Brooklyn is moving up.
All right.
We're going to do straight up 11. And if you want to put in the comments, the Nets would be giving up a Denver 2032 top 4 protected pick plus
Wait.
a
2032. Top 4 protected, you said? Or top?
Yep. Top 4
Okay.
protected. And a 2029 top 8 protected New York Knicks. That
Right.
would be the offer that I would give to move up. They can't
Right.
make all of these picks. And you'll see why I'm doing this here in a second, because we are going to have them consolidate picks here shortly again. But I think that this is a deal that could work. Denver in 2032 could very well be a bottom 5 team in the league, but we also have seen it time and time again where a team that's the worst team in the league bumps down to 5. So I think having that small chance that OKC could get that pick would be intriguing for them. And again, they just can't afford to roster nor finance all of these players. So I do think that they're going to have to move away from picks, and I think that those 2 picks are very valuable, especially for what the Nets are looking at here at 11, which to me would be Tunde Esafu.
That's who I wanted. Thank you. Good job, Sean Marks, Dylan. Thank you. That's what I wanted.
To me, this is the Cam Thomas replacement. If you've looked at his past few games, he's going off. The two-way ability that he brings, he definitely does look a little bit like Anthony Edwards. So the comps are there. But at 6'5", could be 6'6", The athleticism that he brings, the defensive intensity that he brings, reminds me a lot of a combination between Anthony Edwards and BJ Edgecombe. So to me, Fleming's at the 1, Tunde at the 2, Yegor at the 3, MPJ at the 4. You're really just missing that starting big man of the future, depending on if that is going to be Claxton or not. But right there, you've got your core. I think that with Drake Powell being there, another move that I like this offseason or at this year's trade deadline is Peyton Watson from Denver. I think if you're able to get him somehow in Brooklyn and pair him next to Traore, Drake Powell, Danny Wolf off the bench, I think that that's a really intriguing young core to have in Brooklyn for the next couple of years.
Well, I like this. What do you do? Like, so I know it really doesn't matter yet because we're still far off from competing, but let's say this is our draft and we don't make any huge free agency signing. So we're pretty much moving forward with these 2 rookies and what we have now. Minus Cam Thomas, obviously. What does our starting 5 look like next year? Or is it just too early?
Next year?
Yeah, let's say we got these 2 picks. We got Flemings and we got what is our
It's tough. Like I would say the starting 5 is more than likely going to be Yegor at the 1, Tunde at the 2, MPJ at the 3, Clowney at the 4, Claxton at the 5. That's if there's no moves being made, right? Off the bench, you would have. It would suck, but you would have Traore, Flemings. Like it would be a very, very loaded guard room, which is why the Nets could maybe look to make a trade. Like, do they maybe trade Traore in a package for a star? Right? There's a couple of different.
I don't want to trade. Yeah, like I still think Traore has a lot of upside. I don't want to trade him. Like if you trade him today, you're not going to get good value for him because like he hasn't done anything yet. I don't want to trade.
I don't think that you wouldn't get good value. I just don't want to see. I want to at least give all of these kids 3 years, right? From the moment that you draft them, I want to see what they do for 3 years. If Traore continues to play at the route that he's playing defensively as a floor spacer, the game that he just played, he went 3 of 4 from 3 and played great defense. To me, the comp that I gave him was Andrew Nembhard. And all I said was he was floor spacing away from becoming an Andrew Nembhard-like player, which is a top-tier 6 man in the league. He looks like that he could be it. So to me, I would love to keep him.
We all trashed on this draft, but I'm looking at this, right? And I'm looking at, a 1, 2, 3, a 3-guard rotation, however you want to call it, with the 3 rookies. And I'm like, this could work. Like defensively, Traore and Drake Powell are already excellent. And just as a 6'8" point guard, Yegor, how bad defensively can he really be? Right? Like he's not going to be bad. That 1, 2, 3. I don't know who you want to call the point guard. I guess Yegor would be the 3 in that situation, but it doesn't really matter. But Traore, Drake Powell, and Yegor, that's something you can work with. Like that, we all dumped on that.
Very
but
intriguing.
Like, you can work with that. So
I mean, you could even go as far to say Yegor at the 1, Traore at the 2, and Powell at the 3. It would be very similar to like Halliburton at the 1, Nembhard at the 2. And then Aaron Nesmith or Benedict Mathurin at the 3, right? Like the Nets have kind of gotten into this position where they are blueprinting teams similar to Indiana and San Antonio, right? San Antonio is using De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, and Stephon Castle for the 1 through 3. So it's been proven that it can work. It's just, are these the guys that will make it work in Brooklyn? So it'll be interesting to see. But again,
but you do feel like now you have the pieces in place. Now, if you could just go sign a superstar, an all-star player,
I would say that you're still, I would still say that you're a number 1 option away, plus about 2 really good veteran depth pieces, like the Lou Dorts of the world, the Aaron Nesmiths, guys like that. Nothing crazy, but guys like that. I think that's when you would be in a position to start winning.
Do you put like Terrence Mann? Does Terrence Mann fill that role?
At $15.5 million for his production, I don't think so. Because again, he's also an undersized 2-guard, right? 6'5".
What is he? Yeah.
So to me, the Flemings, the Traores, the Powells, those are all his replacements. So at this point, you're starting to look for wings and bigs, because you don't know if Claxton or Sharp will be here next year, right? You don't know whether or not. I mean, we don't really necessarily have a backup power forward per se. Like Danny Wolf has been playing it, but is he a a full-time backup power forward, I don't know. I think he would probably be better as a 5, especially if you can get
I'm saying, could
another
you?
4
Look,
spacing 4.
4-5 with Clowney and Wolf is also intriguing to me. Like that's an intriguing
is.
form. Like
Very.
it becomes difficult to defend. They can kill you in the pick and roll. You're gonna have, you know what I'm saying? It's
It's a very
defensively.
interesting position to be in.
I thought Wolf was going to be defensively useless. I thought he was going to be Chris Humphries defensively, like just completely useless. David Lee, he's not. He's. I don't see him getting cooked and big boy. Like I don't see that. I don't see him being a useless defensive player. I don't. You know, I'm not saying he's a great post defender or a great switch big or anything like that. But he doesn't look useless defensively, right?
No, not at all.
He doesn't look like Chris Humphries out there, right? Like he doesn't look like that. So, there's a lot of combinations like Wolf at the 5, Clowney at the 4. Does it have some issues? Yeah, but could it be really good offensively? Oh, that could be a real good option. Like they have things here. Like there are definitely things in place that you can work around, even if Claxton's not a part of this. Like,
yeah, no, I definitely agree. You throwing things?
Yeah, pissing me off. All right.
At number 12, I think that this is a perfect spot for him, and that would be Nate Ament. I don't like him being selected at 12 necessarily because I really don't think that he's a lottery talent as of right now. But for a team like Milwaukee, who may or may not be getting rid of Giannis, I think that that's a really good high upside swing at that spot. So I really don't hate it for them at 12.
Is it due to his size? Or is it due that he's just not very good at basketball?
It's just due to his overall IQ of handling the basketball. It's his shot selection. It's his way that he creates space as a shot maker. He's got a lot of flaws to his game that he needs to work on. But again, Milwaukee is also the team that made, skinny, nobody knew who he was, Giannis, into a superstar. Yeah. So if there's an organization that could do it again, I would think it would be Milwaukee.
Here's an interesting pick. I know. Okay, go ahead. I'll let you.
We have a trade.
Oh, we have a trade. Let's go.
We have a trade.
Let's go.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are moving up.
All right. And they're trading
17 and 25. Or you know what? Go 17 and 38. No, go 25. Screw it.
25.
Yeah. We'll say Chicago maybe throws in like a protected future first round pick or something, but you don't have to add that. 17 and 25 for 13. I like that. Moving up for OKC, and they get Hannes Steinbeck. I mean, again, this is the Isaiah Hartenstein replacement when it comes time for them to financially, make some moves. But again, he's the best offensive rebounding big man in college basketball right now, averaging 18 points, 12 rebounds. He's an absolute unit. Absolutely love his game. If the Nets were to fall into that like 10 through 12 range and a lot of the guards are gone or Tunde's gone, I honestly wouldn't hate the Nets taking him as the Claxton replacement maybe. He's that good.
Hang on 1 second. Just talk for a second. I got to respond to this text real quick from my wife. Hang on 1 second.
I mean, what are we at right now? We're at Memphis at 14, I think this is, or is this 15 for them? No, this is 14. So they do have a lottery pick as of right now. It's going to be interesting the route that they go because you don't know whether or not Ja's getting traded. You've got KCP on an expiring deal next year. Maybe they go out and make a move for a star. They have the draft capital to do so now after the Orlando pick or the Orlando trade where they got a bunch of picks in return for Desmond Bane. So there's a good amount of players on the board here that I like for them. But at the same time, there's one who just kind of makes sense to me because of his immediate plug-in and play. But at the same time, it's like, do I want to take an upperclassman? Right? A lot of mock drafts have Thomas Hall going between 11 through 14. I personally don't think an upperclassman of his status should be going that high. But at the same time, for what Memphis could use, it doesn't make not any sense, right? Does that make sense? So
yeah,
to me right now, I'm between the top 3 on the board. I think Braylon Mullins, if you put him next to Ja, would be an Austin Reeves-like player. Just a really good floor spacer to start his career.
Is Ja going to be there though? Like,
and that's the question, right?
Yeah.
So it's like we don't know that as of right now. But Yaxel makes a lot of sense for a team like Memphis. But again, the problem is you have Santi Aldama, you've got a ton of wings on that team. Thomas Haw is at least a different caliber of wing where he can space the floor. He's a solid defender, but let's go Thomas Haw. I don't necessarily love the pick, but they do pick again at 18. And I've got my eyes set on somebody there for 18 for them. So we'll go Thomas Haw at 14 to round out the lottery. At number 15 is Golden State. I would usually insert my Nick Claxton trade here, but this is not what we're going to do there, simply just because we already did a trade up to 11. Golden State's not the smartest organization as well. Clearly, they have refused to use a real big man in probably about 7 years. I don't count Kevon Looney as a real big. Zaza Pachulia is not a real big. I mean, realistically, it's been Andrew Bogut, and that's it. DeMarcus Cousins played half a season for him before blowing his Achilles, so they just refuse to get a big. To me, Braylon Mullins makes a lot of sense for them, but at the same time, you've got Podziemski, and it's like, do you trust Podziemski or Mullins to play the one?
Yeah, but they have Draymond Green as the center, who's 100 years old and 6'6", so they're good.
That is very true. I don't hate Yaxel or Kareem Lopez here. I think in terms of upside, Lopez has more upside. In terms of their immediate plug-in and play, Yaxel makes a lot of sense. So let's go Yaxel here. He's been incredible.
Yeah, I actually think this is a terrible pick, and I think this is exactly what they would do because they're not a smart organization. I think this is, let's just Steph Curry's 100, Jimmy Butler's 100, Draymond Green's 100. All right, let's give it one more shot. Let's not draft the guy with the highest upside. Let's
draft the immediate plug-in 23-year-old ready to go.
Who can help us go 43 and 39 this year? Let's do that.
I was going to say, I mean, listen, I love Yaxel. This was a guy that I was really high on last year in the draft process. If he was to have stayed in the draft, he was projected in that like 23 through 26 range. If he was to have fallen to Brooklyn, I would have absolutely loved it. But he's having an incredible season at Michigan this year. He was at UAB the year prior. Not a lot of people thought that he could carry that production over to a powerhouse school, and he's showing that he can. Michigan right now, I believe, is the #1 team in the nation. So they're doing really well. Yaxel's doing really well. And I do think that he is the Draymond Green replacement. So I don't think that it's a horrible pick, but I definitely think that there are some higher upside players that they could have taken. Atlanta is here. What is this, pick 17?
Yeah.
I don't hate Mullins, Lopez. They already got point guard, so I'm not going Avdilas for them. Scroll down just a tad bit more. Like this is crazy to say, but I don't hate Henry Vassir here from UNC, the big man. I got him projected 27th or 28th on this big board.
Where the hell is he on my chart? Am I bugging? I don't even. Oh, here.
Nope,
Wow.
there he
Okay.
is.
Yeah, here he is.
Like, I don't hate. I mean, click on the eye again. You'll see why I'm saying this in a second. He's absolutely incredible this season. 17 points, 9 rebounds, incredibly efficient from the floor.
Can he score from more than 5 feet from the basket?
I mean, I haven't seen much of it, but I can check to see if he's got any floor spacing.
And by floor space, I mean, can he hit a 15-foot jump shot from the free throw line?
Yeah, he shoots 50% from 3 right now. He's 17 of 34 on the year. So yeah, he can shoot that thing. But
yeah,
again, it kind of just comes down to, like, to me, Henry Vassir as of right now for me is going to be my Hanson Yang pick, right? Where nobody expected it to happen, but I think that in terms of the production that he could give, he's a really good player to have. We're back at Chicago at, what is this now? This is now 17. I think that you can't really let him stay on the board any longer. I think you got to go with the upside swing here, especially with Vucevic on his way out. Chris Sinak Jr. has not been the guy that we all thought that he would have been this year. Originally, he was projected to be the best big in the class. If you click on the eye again, you'll see the stats are very underwhelming, especially for a player of his size. The field goal percentage isn't great for a big. He does take a lot of threes. He has not been incredibly efficient. 9 points, 7.5 rebounds. Not really any standout stats to his name right now. So right now I'm in between Mullins and Sinak Jr. Chicago is another team that has been in on Anthony Davis. There's maybe a possibility that they can go after a guy like Sabonis. So it kind of just comes down to Mullins and Sinak Jr. Kobe White is probably on his way out. Ayo Dosunmu is on an expiring deal. They could use a little bit of guard help, and I think for a guy like Giddey, who is a primary facilitator, Mullins is a really good piece to have as a catch and shoot guy next to him and Matas Bouzella. So I'm going to switch it up here. I'm going to go Mullins. We're going to have Sinek Jr. continue to fall. But we'll go Braylon Mullins here at 17 to Chicago. And he's still on the board, so I'm going to take him. Memphis, like we said, we don't know if they're going to trade Ja Morant. And to me, I do think that you need that point guard of the future. And that to me is going to be Abdelas. I'm going to switch it up here a little bit again. Abdelas has been absolutely incredible. I did get to witness him in person. Again, very, very similar movements and overall skill set to a Luka Doncic. Does he have the ceiling of Luka? Probably not. But in terms of a guy who can space the floor, who can get to his spots, who can play make at will, who is a very solid rebounder, takes care of the ball pretty well. I think that in terms of a backup point guard for a year next to Ja, or if he does get implemented into the starting role if they trade Ja, I think that he could really develop into something special over there. You'd have 6'9" Abdelas at the 1. You'd have Santi Aldama at the 4, Jaren Jackson at the 5, Thomas Haw at the 3. That's a really lengthy team, very similar to what Brooklyn's doing currently. So to me, I really like that pick for Memphis.
All right. What are we at now? What pick is this?
19, I believe.
Yeah, 19.
See, this is where I would have liked Abdelas better, just because they could really use a point guard. But again, I'm going to switch things up, but mine as well. Go Christian Anderson out of Texas Tech. If you guys have been watching any college basketball this year, you would know that this is one of the best point guards in the nation. And the stats are going to pull up here in a second. 20.7 assists, 3.5 rebounds on 50% shooting. Absolutely incredible all-around player at the point guard position. Plays with a high intensity as a facilitator, as a defender. He's rising up my boards left and right. As you can see, this board hasn't really necessarily been updated in quite some time. But I do really like that pick for Miami there, going with a lead point guard to play alongside Hero, Bam, Khalil Ware. They could still use a wing. I don't really think they necessarily have their small forward of the future, especially with Wiggins potentially on his way out. But could they be another team that makes a deal for Giannis? Yes. So who knows what they're going to do in the near future. You're on mute. What are we at here? 20?
Right, no, 20, yeah.
So for me here at 20, I don't think you can let him fall any further. I do think they go Chris Sinek Jr. They could use that backup 5, and especially playing behind Jakob Poeltl for a couple of years potentially, that could kind of give them the room to develop his game to its fullest. So at number 20, we're going Chris Sinek Jr. here. I believe this is the lowest I've had him go so far in any of my mocks. At number 21 here, this is Charlotte. And I absolutely love the fit of this here if they were to go with it with Kareem Lopez, but I do want to see if there's any bigs on the board potentially. Scroll down a little bit.
My bad.
That's all right. I was going to go with him anyway, but I just wanted to see what bigs were available. Lopez, again, I haven't really been able to do much research into his game because he is playing in New Zealand, so it's very hard to find full game highlights and stuff, but just an athletic 6'9" wing, can space the floor. He kind of reminds me of Jalen Johnson with a lesser ceiling. Just in terms of play style. He's got a good IQ as a playmaker. He knows how to get to his spots. Very solid floor spacer. Really good rebounder. And like I said, super athletic. What is this here? 22 for Boston?
Yeah. It's an interesting pick.
Really tough spot. Like Cameron Carr is a really good player, but do they necessarily it really depends on if they're keeping Derek White or not, right? They could go with Cameron Carr, Keaton Wagler. But I really do like Patrick Ngamba for them, too, because I think they need a true center for the future.
The big on Duke? Yeah, I guess so. Why not? Yeah. Where is he?
I would go.
Oh, here he is. Yeah.
Scroll down a little bit more, too, before you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11.6.5 rebounds, 65% from the field. Just a really solid player. Nothing crazy. I don't really see anybody that I would go here. So, let's go. Nah, I don't. He's really good, but it's kind of like Luka Garza when he won National Player of the Year, right? Went mid-second round. Like, not a lot of guys want 4-year guys that have been doing the same thing for years, right? Because at that point, the upside on their game is not high. So Patrick Ngamba there at 22, maybe a little high for where I would have originally liked him. I probably would have wanted Henry Vasseur there. But again, with Vasir going higher than expected, I think you got to go next man up, and that's Ngamba. Minnesota here at number, what is this, 23? I definitely think they need a lead guard. I don't know how Malik Thomas would fit in there immediately, but I do think that he would be a great pick for them there at 23. The upside on his game at 6'5", he's a combo guard. Kind of reminds me of a little bit more explosive version of DeJounte Murray. If you click draft on him, because that's going to be the pick there for him, averaging 14 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. The field goal percentage is rough, but he is coming off of a 28-point performance last night, 2 nights ago. So definitely has a lot of upside to his game.
All right. Lakers.
All right, the Lakers, again, tough spot because I would usually go big for them. But if he's available there, I feel like you kind of just have to go with him. And that's going to be Cameron Carr. At Baylor so far this season, he's been absolutely incredible. 22 points, 6 rebounds, just a really all-around solid scoring option. Don't really necessarily need to use him as a playmaker since you have Luka and Austin Reeves next year. But to me, I think it's a no-brainer. If Cameron Carr's still on the board there, you got to go with him. Chicago's back up, and I absolutely love this pick for them. Go Dame Sarr. I don't think that he's playing like a first-round pick right now, but the defensive ability that he brings, he's this year's version of Drake Powell. A guy who could have been a lottery pick, similar to Powell before the season had begun. Sarr at the beginning of the season was being projected as a lottery pick, has fallen off my boards a lot just due to the offensive performances. But again, that kind of just has to do with the system that he's in, similar to Drake Powell last year at UNC. So to me, if he's available there, trading back, what did we give OKC at 13 if you scroll down?
So
we gave him what's his name? Hannes Steinbeck. To me, if you're trading Hannes Steinbeck for Dame Sarr and Braylon Mullins, really solid deal. I think that the Bulls can go into free agency and find a big man, or even if they trade Vucevic or somebody this year for an Anthony Davis or for a Domantas Sabonis, there's ways that they can work around replacing that big man spot. So adding these two guys, a really solid floor spacer for Giddey, plus a really solid defender at the wing position as well. I think that's a really solid 2 picks that they can get to move 4 spots back.
All right. We are on to who are we taking?
What pick is this? 26?
Yeah.
Go Keaton Wagler. I don't think he can stay on this board any longer. Like I said, one of the most underrated freshmen of the year so far, averaging 16 points, 5 rebounds, and shooting roughly 46% from the field. Just a really all-around good scoring option. And for a Denver team that lacks a lot of offensive upside in terms of players not named Jamal Murray or Nikola Jokic, I definitely think they could use the scoring off the bench to continue their hopeful contending run. So yeah, I don't hate that pick at all for them. At 6'6", like I said, really good all-around scorer. Has had some really impressive performances this season at Illinois. And he's also playing alongside guys like David Merkovic, who's on that board right there, Andrei Stojakovic, son of Peja. So they've got a lot of scoring over there at Illinois, and he's still finding his way to put the ball in the basket. So I absolutely love the upside that he brings as a scorer.
All right,
and then at 27 with Cleveland. This is a tough spot because realistically, you don't know what's going on with Jared Allen. This team has been incredibly underperforming, so you don't know if they're going to move away from Darius Garland. Scroll down a little bit on the board here too. Like I like Braden Berries here. I like Bennett Sturts. I like David Merkovic. I don't mind Matthew Abel. To me, it's probably.
What about Todd Pettiford? This is a guy we looked at last year that didn't declare. Where does he stand?
Tap the eye. I can't stand him as a prospect. He's just so incredibly inefficient. Really badly. And he's also 6'1". Like to me, he's probably going to be a mid second round pick. I'm being nice putting him at 34, but I do think that he's going to be in that like 38 through 45 range if he even decides to come out of college again. I mean, to be a sophomore and shooting that poorly from the field, that's a really tough spot in terms of draft night selection. So I personally am not the biggest fan of Pettiford.
What's his upside though? Like if I'm drafting him, what's he good at?
To me, a team like
Yes.
Sacramento, like as like a like I believe Sacramento has 37 and another second round pick in like the
Yeah.
38 through 45 range. To me, that would be a solid fit for them there. But in all honesty, he's just a really good scorer. Solid playmaker, but again, undersized, so he's not a great defensive player. He's very inefficient from the field. So there's a lot of stuff to work on in terms of his all-around game there. But I just saw a player that I've seen him on draft boards rising up, and I don't hate the pick, but at the same time, I hate the pick. But if there's a team that is going to do this to try and extend their window a bit, go Joshua Jefferson out of Iowa State.
Wait, remind me to ask you about Dash Daniels. What the hell is going on over there? Are you on who would you want? I'm
Scroll
sorry.
down. I think he's listed at 37.
Josh 37.
Jefferson.
Here you go. Talk to me about Dyson Daniels. Talk to me about Dyson Daniels, little bro. This guy was a projected lottery pick a month ago, 2 months ago. I guess more than that, but what the hell's going on with him? Because everything
he's
I
just
hear about,
not good.
Yeah, I keep hearing he's not good.
It's unfortunate.
Other than his brother's a good defensive guard, what is he like? What did people like about him 3 months ago that was making people say he's going to be a lottery pick?
He played very similar to Dyson at his age. So it's like the upside of his game is there.
Yeah.
But to me, if I'm Dash, I'm coming overseas back to the U.S. and playing in college. I would play 1 year at college next year and see how it looks. If there's improvements to his game, maybe he'll be a late first, early second. But as of right now, I don't see him getting drafted.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Similar with Caden Boozer. Like all of these media outlets continuously put like Caden Boozer in the late first, early second. They continuously put Dash Daniels in the early second. They continuously put Bennett Sturts in the late first. Some of them even still in like the top 20 for Bennett Sturts. I just don't see it. It's very similar to a couple of players last year that I had felt were going to fall. So I don't like some of these guys in this year's draft, specifically Sturts, Daniels, and Boozer. Caden, by the way, not Cam, but Caden Boozer is one of those guys that I'm just not a fan of. Same thing with Ade Mara. I'm not a fan of him. 7'3", not great at anything, just solid. Reminds me of a lesser Zach Edey. Like it's just not going to be a great high upside swing for a lot of teams. At number 28, the New York Knicks are up. I think if Braden Barris is still here, you got to take him. So that's the pick I'm going to go with there. A really solid floor spacer. He's starting to get into a groove here. He could definitely go higher than 28. Like I'm being a bit stingy with that pick there, but there also is just so many players that I like in this draft class that I do think they would go ahead of him. Realistically, though, he could go as early as 21 or 22 with how he's playing.
We're all at number 29 now. Is that where we're at?
Yeah. And this is where I would have loved to have Braden Barris go. But to me, a lot of people aren't going to agree with this pick. If you are familiar with college basketball, I think David Markovic is a great pick here for them. Not many people know the name as of right now, but freshman, 13 points, 8.5 rebounds. I think he just plays a really stellar game of basketball all around. And for a team like Detroit, who you don't know necessarily if Isaiah Stewart is going to be there long term, if Tobias Harris is going to come back after this season because he's on an expiring deal. I definitely think they need to look power forward and shooting guard long term. There are shooting guards out there on the market that they could trade for. One of them being Devin Booker has been a name they've been listed as a potential suitor for if he decides to ever request that trade. So to me, the shooting guard position is a bit easier replaceable than the power forward spot's going to be. So I think going Markovic there gives him a high upside swing this late into the first round.
And then we close out the first round.
Closing out the first round, Washington. Man, they got Caleb Wilson. Honestly, go Sergio Delaria here. I don't hate the pick at all. 6'6" point guard out of Spain. I don't know what the future is going to look like for Bub Carrington long term, but if you can get a guy with that skill set at 6'6" with the final pick in the first round, you take it. He will be an early second round pick if he doesn't get selected there at 28, or I'm sorry, at 30. So I think that's a really nice high upside swing for Washington to end the first round.
Thank you, baby.
There's the coffee. There it is. Been waiting on that.
Yeah. All right.
This is honestly one of the the more enjoyable drafts that we've done because we switched it up a bit here too. Like Filen going 5 is crazy. That's not going to happen. But is it cool for the scenario? Yes. I absolutely.
Why can't Filen go 5?
I just don't.
If
Again, it comes down to upside, right? Filen to me is going to be like a Mike Conley in his prime, which is a really good basketball player.
But if Atlanta picks there, and let's say Trey is gone, let's say the board
Mhm.
felt like this, and Atlanta picks 5, and Trey Young
Yeah.
is gone. It's either Flemings or Filen, right? Like
At that point,
what?
at that
Yeah.
point, I think OKC would trade up 2 spots to go get Jaden Quainitz, and then
Okay.
Atlanta would take Filen
Okay.
at 7, right? Sacramento, if Quaintance is gone, they go with Kingston Flemings, right? So that's how quickly the board can change, right? Like say OKC's at 5, they go Jaden Quaintance. Sacramento at 6 goes Kingston Flemings, and then you got Atlanta at 7, and they go Filen, right? That puts Brooklyn in a position now where they are going either 8 Cuff, Mikal Brown Jr., or potentially even Tunde Yesufu as high as 8. So that's how quickly these boards can change, in my mind at least, just based on the position of the picks and the trades that are going to be happening.
So
But if the board was to fall
away,
like this, then yeah, I could see Filen going 5.
if we walked away with this as our draft, we're thrilled, right? We got Flemings and Yasifa. We're good.
I was going to say,
good.
and we still have the 36th pick. That could be Flory Badunga out of Kansas as a center. Like that could be a really stellar draft.
This is exciting. I don't know how all of this would mesh with what we have already with all the guards, but we got a bunch of good players. And when you're this bad, really all you can ask for is to get a bunch of good players, and then we'll figure out the fit
later on
when we get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
This I would be thrilled with. All right, Dylan. What's your schedule like? And next time we do next mock, let's do 2 rounds. Next mock,
we'll
let's
go
do
2 rounds.
We'll
yeah, we'll start the new year with 2 years. Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, we'll figure out a time. Happy New Year's, everybody. Enjoy. It's time to get fucked up. Let's have a day.
It's good to be young. The New Year's at 42 years old. New Year's is probably my least favorite day of the year. But you guys in your 20s, you do your thing.
We'll ball out.
All right, I'll be in contact. We'll let you know in the new year when we'll be back.
Yes, sir.
It's New Year's Eve, guys, from Texas to the world. Thank y'all. God bless. Appreciate you, Dylan.
Of course, man. Later.
Later.